Well, welcome to the Stone Roadie podcast. It's the one you don't want to miss. It stars Craig Reed, the Stone Roadie, and Griff, the rocket scientist. Let's not forget Kathy Godsey and all the old friends that come along. Lord, we'll be talking Skynyrd and leaving you with a song.
Good morning, everybody. Time to rise and shine. I'm Shelby Barrett, the Stoned for the Stoned Roadie Show, and it's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
The Stoned Roadie Show, podcast 151. Action. All righty, fellow earthlings, looky here, looky here. This is the Stoned Roadie Show, Wake and Bake. It's, what is it? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, April 3rd. And it's time for a morning buzz on the Stoned Roadie Show with your host, Craig Reed, and my co-host, Griff Martin, the rocket scientist. So, what we got going on here this morning, Griff?
We got a few things to catch up on. We weren't here Monday. It was a holiday. It was Easter before, and Craig might have got some gummies and some jelly beans mixed up. But he kind of needed a break because he was having a little family reunion somewhere. So we're back. It's a nice little morning here in Florida. I don't know how it is where you're at, Craig. Is it getting any snow up there or anything? It's hot down here.
It's storming, man. We got floods and stuff going on. I don't have any problem here, but yeah, there's some big thunderstorms going on through this area. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't mind that heading down this way. I like a good thunderstorm. But yesterday was Leon Wilkerson's birthday. And so happy birthday to Leon Wilkerson and anybody who shares Leon Wilkerson's birthday. That's a great day. Happy birthday to Leon Wilkerson. And Craig, did you remember Leon's birthday?
I did not. No, I've been in bed for 2 days.
You recovering still?
Yeah, Easter Bunny kicked my ass.
Must have been something you drank or something you swallowed. Yeah, and the other thing too is the April Fool's Day was the last day for mailing in the email for your contest. And Craig, you getting a pretty good response on it. So that's it. No more mail-ins for the contest. But I think, Craig, you said you had like a couple hundred or something like that? 113.
Oh, 113. Yeah, well, I'm still weeding some out. There's about 20 people that wrote to me and said, "Oh, how wonderful me and Griff and Kathy Godsey was, and how wonderful what it was great what we were doing for the survivors, and they don't miss a single podcast, and on and on and on and on." And they never do ask me to be in the drawing, so I had to write him back. I said, "Well, thanks a lot for the note, but did you forget to put in there that you wanted to be in the drawing?" So there's about 20 of those, so I wrote them back. But I expect they all want to be in the drawing. If I leave them out, though, I suspect they all want to be in there. But I want to go through all my mail, and then I want to number everybody, and then I plan on going through all the emails and sending you an email and telling you what number you are. And then I got like 14 people that are already leftovers from the last one, so we'll give you your number on that, and then we'll issue you a number. And you should be on. I should be able to contact you on email and let you know your number if you emailed me. Now, if you sent me something in the mail, I haven't. I think I added those to this pre-list here. I think the ones I got in the mail, but I'm gonna go through all my mail and check and make sure, and then we'll give it a week to make sure the mail didn't mess up and I didn't get any, because I guess somebody sent me a really cool rock last week and I didn't get it, so I guess the mail's still messing up. So I don't.
Is that one Kathy was talking about?
Yeah, somebody sent me a crystal rock or some kind of rock or something, and I didn't get it. Yeah, I'm heartbroken. You know, I love
it. Wasn't a crack rock, was it?
I hope not. No.
Yeah, you don't need any of that.
I don't need no crack. Yeah.
Well, you might.
No, but if it's from Miami, you know, and it come from,
you might need it because of that eclipse that's coming. And there might not.
Oh man, there's all kind of stuff, scuttlebutt about that eclipse coming through here. My God, there's there's all kind of stuff happening with that eclipse. It's NASA has a logo from decades ago, where they have a map, and where that last one that went through and this and coming through where they cross, it's on one of NASA's logos. They've been one of their logos for a long, long time. I saw it today. They were showing it. It's kind of weird, and NASA's shooting 3 missiles at that eclipse. Now, that thing, the moon's 285,000 miles from here. I don't think they can shoot a rocket at it and make it that far, but it's supposed to be doing something and trying to capture the evil spirits or the good spirits that are coming or going. I don't know. There's some scriptural stuff that's really strange about this eclipse coming up. It's pretty crazy.
You remember, Craig? You remember that cult that we were talking about? That they went out and bought some tennis shoes and wrapped themselves in cellophane. Well, maybe Joe Biden and his whole cabinet will do that, so they can hitch a ride with that comet. And we can be rid of their asses.
But they said you can look at it if you look at it in a mirror. If you take a mirror and look at it in a mirror, I guess don't take my word for it, but that's what they were kind of saying.
I always heard that you get a welder's lens and do it like that.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. But these guys on there said they were going to look at it, but they said, yeah, you could take a mirror and hold it up and look at it. But I don't know. No.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to chance that on it.
No, I'm not gonna. I might take my telescope and put. I think I got a lens for that where I can. I can film it, but there's all the news stations here are going to film that thing, so they'll probably get a pretty good shot of it.
Yeah, and that's coming up on the 8th. So.
I think so. Yeah. It's like at 2:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, but it's right. I'm right in line with it. Yeah. But
keep us updated on that. See what happens. I mean,
I can't wait to see what NASA has to say about them shooting 3 missiles up there. That's That's crazy.
Yeah, they're always doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to say what's going on in this crazy world.
Yeah, you were saying something about Prince Charles.
Yeah, they said Prince Charles has pancreatic cancer, and they gave him 2 years to live. And William, he said he's gonna refuse to take the throne. I guess they were saying something they tried to do to his wife what they did to Diana, and they didn't quite accomplish it. And he's still all pissed off about what they did to his mother. And he said, Harry's got red hair, and there's a little bit of uh, flim flam going on there with Diane and whoever she was with red hair that where Harry got, yeah, there's all kind of stuff going on over there, and they said they even had stuff going on with this eclipse connected to the crown. I guess there's all kind of scuttlebutt connected to the crown, they were saying. I don't know, it's hard to say, I don't know. I have brain damage,
Well, things are going to start getting interesting more and more as we get closer to the election. So there's going to be lots of current of events to report on coming up here. But back to the skin formation, we're going to I'm going to put on another interview with the O'Hara interviews at the end of this. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but I'll throw another one up there so everybody that wants to hear that, it's first responders it's an interview that we've been covering. So you guys that are not very happy about anything to do with the airplane crash, don't tune in. But if you do want to learn some more, that's some really good skin information. So stick around for that. And then Craig, I was seeing on a video that you were on this Asbury Park 1977 video of the band, and there you were right up there for quite a while messing around with Artie's drums. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. And I was thinking that I was the guitar roadie during that era. And I was telling somebody, I was the guitar roadie, and then I was up there. When they go off for the encore, I'm up there messing with the drums, and the whole time they're off stage, getting ready to come back and do the encore. They got the camera on me up there on the drums, messing around.
Yeah, quite a while.
And then after the show is over, they got the camera, and I go out and pick something up off the drum riser and take off running off of stage right. I don't know what I picked up, but I seem to be the only roadie up there. That might have been when Chuck and Raymond left, and it was just me and Kevin out there doing stuff. But no, that couldn't have been because Steve was with the band. I'm confused about that whole thing.
Maybe somebody got sick that day.
Yeah, but I really am, because I was thinking I was the guitar roadie when Steve came to Myrtle Beach for the first show. I swore I was the guitar roadie, but if he's in the band and I'm still up there doing drums, I don't know. I'm confused about that whole thing now, but I was definitely doing drums there in 77, but I don't know. That's confusing.
Well, anybody that wants to see that footage of a young shirtless Craig, it's right at the end of the video there. It's the Asbury Park, Lynyrd Skynyrd Asbury Park, 1977. Which is actually a really great.
That's a great show, man.
Yeah,
it's black and white. But
yeah,
Steve went right when he first got with the band and stuff. Yes, it was spot on. He knew all his parts.
I hear a little something about somebody was upset because you said something about Ed King and
I think Kathy Godsey asked me a question about what. Did change direction? How did it influence Skynyrd when Ed left? And I just said, I don't think Ed had a lot of input in most of the Lynyrd Skynyrd songs. I know he did Sweet Home Alabama, and I think he did Saturday Night Special or something, but. And maybe Tuesdays. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with everything Ed wrote, but I don't think it was the backbone of what Lynyrd Skynyrd did, and then I said compared to Steve, because when Steve came in, he was a songwriter, singer, songwriter, and a great guitar player. So it was a totally different thing with Steve, and somebody didn't like that comment, but hey, that's my opinion.
Yeah, everybody's
not dissing Ed King at all. My God, Ed King was one that hired me. I'd never say anything bad about Ed King,
Yeah.
But that's just the way I tell the way I feel,
I mean,
thanks Ed for hiring me, but I don't think you had a whole lot of direction into where Skynyrd went. You were a good addition to what they did, but I think most of the stuff came from Alan and Ronnie and and Gary. Gary's a great man. Watching that Asbury Park thing, God, Gary blew my mind. I watched it. Man, he played some stuff, and God, he was making that damn thing chirp, man.
Yeah, it's really a clean player. He always has been.
He's just so tasty, yeah.
And he had his cigarette between his little fingers.
Yeah. Oh, is that
there?
Yeah,
he had that, and he definitely had his own style. But there's a lot of people that I've met that knew Ed King. I wouldn't say a lot, but a few that hate Ed King, that hated him. And but then there's other people that loved him. Yeah, he's kept to be one of my favorites, He was I mean, I never met him. Well, I kind of did, but he was like my favorite guy, man. I think Ed King brought a lot to the band, and he brought a certain sound to the band in the early days. And for me, I think Lynyrd Skynyrd got a huge kickoff because of Ed King. But what the hell do I know, Craig?
Yeah, I don't know. I just,
that was somebody in one of the comments, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked me how that affected Skynyrd's music when Ed left. And I just said, I didn't, I thought Gary and Alan was really the meat and potatoes with Ronnie in the meat of Skynyrd's songwriting, and that's just my opinion, I mean, what Ed did was great, but
Well, we got some more comments to go over, so let's see if we can find out anything else in here in these comments that we got on the last.
Well, let me acknowledge Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Lisa, yeah. Well, I couple weeks ago I talked about James Cross donated a bunch of stuff, and I showed some of these things, and Lisa wants this songbook, and she, because we said we would offer this stuff on the podcast here before we put it up on eBay, and Lisa offered $250 for this songbook.
Cool.
And we would get nowhere near that on eBay for this songbook. I think you can buy them on there for at the most $50, So Lisa's pretty generous. Lisa, Lisa, anonymous Lisa, she just doesn't want to be recognized, but she just she's the one that bought Lacey's book for $1,000. We kind of said we'd like to get $1,000 for Lacey's book when we had that one, and she stepped up to the plate and said, yeah, sold. And then we put Gary's funeral brochure. We offered that, and she offered $500 for that, so we accepted that. And now she wants this songbook here for $250, and we're not going to get that much on eBay. So she said the check's in the mail. So thank you, Lisa. And that's $1,750 on this round of of donations, and we've still got. I'll just brief through this, but we've still got that James Cross sent to us. These show pamphlets here. We got this from a airplane crash article, and this is just stuff I'm gonna. And we'll do this on a Capitol Theater. This is a Rossington Collins show program, and they've got a couple of those from different shows. One of them's 38 Special, and one of them's a Henry Paul band, from what I remember. And then we got this one here from Garden State Arts Center, and one of these. This is the way we are. See news when the Rossington Collins band had a little fan club news thing, and a hit parade or a circus magazine that has Lynyrd Skynyrd in it here. Back when David Cassidy was a rock star. And then we got this one here, Rossington Collins, circus magazine. Anybody collect circus magazines? Hit Parader. I think this says Ronnie Van Zant Remembered. Yeah, so this is an old Hit Parader. Lynyrd Skynyrd colors centerfold. So Skynyrd made a centerfold. See if I can find it here. Oh, I ain't gonna try to find it. And then one of these Lynyrd Skynyrd on the road on the British Road. You can see my green screen's messing with that one. And then another Garden State Arts Center for Rossington Collins, and my green screen's messing with that one too. But yeah, anybody see anything they like out of that, or you can just give us an offer for the whole shooting match if you want.
Yeah, do a bundle on it.
A bundle, yeah.
Yeah, that's like Ricky Wascom. He bought all these pictures behind me here, and I think Gene Odom's getting ready to go up to the monument, and I might send him up there with him. Although I don't know, Gene might sell them on the way up there, so I might not do that.
But all this stuff here, I forget. All this stuff here goes to, I forget who. I think this is individual. I forget who it goes to, though. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you'll figure that out. But
yeah, it's in here
definitely.
somewhere. I get it. I just forget right now who. I just remembered it. It's not a survivor's fund thing. It's for one individual thing. I think I can't remember if it was Mark Frank or Mark Howard or Paul Welsh. It was one of them. Or it might have been Gene Odom. I don't remember.
Well, yeah, this stuff that Ricky got here, that goes to Mark Howard, and the shirt that goes to Gene Odom. So you should be getting a check from Ricky in the mail if you haven't already got it. But
I'm gonna be sending I'm catching up on all my stuff. You'll be getting your stickers, all your stickers. We didn't really sell that many stickers. I probably only a few people got multiples, but there's only like maybe 15 people actually that wanted them. So we still got quite a few, but those will be good giveaways though too. But if you want to buy $25, and that goes to the Forgotten Survivors Fund.
You just hang on to them.
Donations here for all the survivors. Together we've been getting quite a few for for individuals, we got the one from Dave for $200 and he's sending out to Paul Wells, and here just recently I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll be said we got enough money now. We can start. There's enough we can send. A good chunk out.
Yeah, and it's about time to throw something else up on eBay pretty soon. So we'll figure out what we're going to put. Maybe that Dobro or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we got quite a bit of stuff that we can still put up. I was kind of like getting to the point there where I was thinking about not accepting any items for a while because it's kind of choking me out here at the house.
Yeah. I got kind of overwhelmed. That's why I got to get some of this stuff out of the way. I got grass I got to start mowing here pretty quick.
Yeah, and thanks Dave the Disciple for sending all the cool stuff. He sent me a nice cool tray, and I think he's sending me another sticker for my boat because the other one was too big. So he's always sending cool stuff. I tell you what, I wouldn't mind if Dave the Disciple made some more of these, but not with the convoy on it, just the Stone Roadie. So Dave, if you're watching, man, yeah, these things right here, I bet people would. I'd like to stick them on the e-commerce on the supportsurvivors.net that Anna Ethington's working on. So yeah, that's in work. That's supportsurvivors.net. She's, I think, working on that.
Dave told me that Mark Frank's going to the memorial site April the 12th. I think he said.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He just messaged me today. He's going April 12th. I said, "What's April 12th?" He went. Mark Frank's going to the.
Yeah, and I think Gene's going up there too. Yeah, I believe Gene's going up there too. So, Gene, he'll drive to California and back if he gets a hair up his ass. Yeah, he's that guy. I think he likes to drive for therapy. I think when he's behind the wheel,
does he drive his new red truck?
Yeah,
he's driving a new red truck.
Yeah, he drives that new red truck. He says that thing's a godsend. The guy gave him that truck. That was pretty cool. So, all right, Craig, let's go over these comments and get done with this jibber jabber, and then we'll listen to that audio at the end here, and then.
Okay, well, I got a comment here. I was going through my all those names. I some people did in my email stuff. They let me see here. I just had one question here. Oh, did anybody watch the iHeartRadio Music Awards last night? Oh my God, what a joke!
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, Jelly Roll got the. That was a legitimate thing, but oh my God, it was a joke. I mean, some of this music people been listening to last year. Oh my God, I couldn't understand half of it. Yeah,
and there aren't any instruments.
Gangsta rap. The one girl said she won a big award. She said, "I write my music around gangsta rap."
Some of this stuff that I hear, like if I'm at the gas station and I'll see a little kid, sitting in the car, and then some guy will pull up blaring out some stuff, and man, it's like X-rated, some of that rap music. It's just totally disgusting, and they're out there playing as loud as they can, and good Lord, man, good Lord help us all.
Okay, Joan Jeager. Can you tell us more about Gary's involvement with horses? Did he keep horses for most of his life? Well, I think Joe Crimp, the only thing I'm going to know about that is Joe Crimp had a horse out there at the Hell House, and I think Gary just, wanted to get one, so he, Linda Blair gave him that horse, and then he had Socks, and then, but yeah, Joe Crimp would know more about that. But no, I don't think he had that. He just had horses there, as far as I know, just Well, when he lived over there in Julian Creek, out there during Rossington Collins, he had horses too. So, yeah, I guess he had horses for about 10 years. I don't think he has had horses up in Georgia or anything, but, okay. I just wanted to cover that question. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and before we get into the other comments and questions, yeah, I forgot to mention that we got Steve Lawler. I had a nice conversation with Steve Lawler the other day, and he's coming on. He's going to be on Friday morning, and man, that guy there, he knows everybody. I mean, he's worked for every major rock and roll band on the planet. He's really good friends with Peter Frampton, and he was telling me stuff about working, with like the Eagles and things like that, and just being around all these famous musicians and stuff. So it's going to be, you guys want to stick around. You want to be here on Friday morning because he's gonna talk about his history and the things that he did before he was on the plane, and he's going to talk about being on the plane. And I mean, we're not going to make it all about the plane, but we want to hear all about, some of the stuff that he's done and what he's willing to share with us. What a cool conversation.
He worked with Clearlight, Ron Eckerman's company, and Ron Eckerman, he was highly involved with Peter Frampton and Fleetwood Mac, and Steve Lawler was actually Peter Frampton's production manager and stuff, and he still works as a promoter rep for Live Nation, so he's stayed in the business, so he's been around the block for a long time. He's been doing this. Well, he's been doing it for 50 years after the crash, damn near. Yeah. So he's been in the business, dang,
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
55 years or so.
He's gonna. I mean, when I met him up at the monument, he was really cool, and he was totally awake on the plane the whole time too, and so he's got some pretty good recollection of what happened on there. It might be one of the best interviews we've heard so far. It's a guy that was awake the whole time, so he remembers a lot. But I don't think he's wanting to come on and dispute anybody's story. He's got his own story. So we'll see what happens there Friday morning, and can't wait to have him on. So
yeah,
that's gonna be cool.
His thought process was pretty clear because, like he told me, he wasn't really in a high stress situation when we were crashing. He said, I never did really fear for my life when we were crashing, so he wasn't in a stressful mood when we crashed, and then he said he woke up near Mark Howard, and it was kind of dark. He says that somebody walked by him and kicked him, and then he said that somebody put him over by a tree, and then I guess that same guy was on one of our last ones, and he was saying that. Then I went back, and that guy was dead, and he goes, "I wasn't dead," but he said they'd put a toe tag on him because nobody had ID on him or nothing. So everybody had a toe tag.
Could you imagine waking up with a toe tag on you? Yeah, so that's going to be cool.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Yeah, Friday. You don't want to miss Friday morning.
Yeah, we've gotten quite a few of the crash survivor stories, So they're all back in the podcast, starting somewhere in the beginning there, and they're just peppered throughout all the podcasts. Now that we're up to 151, you might have to just go binge watching to see it. So,
well, before we get serious here, I guess you got to mention my cousin in Australia sent me a YouTube clip of some guy playing the Freebird on the kazoo, and you don't want to listen to it.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's horrible. But I posted it on Facebook, but yeah, I mean, it's funny. I wondered what what people haven't tried to play Freebird on. I would have never imagined somebody would have tried to play.
I've heard them play Freebird on a harp, a violin.
But
Oh my
kazoo.
God! Yeah, now it's a oh wow! Yeah, you're gonna have to practice up on that.
I gotta
Craig,
yeah, they told me to practice up. I don't think I have to practice much to beat that guy on YouTube.
No, it already sounds better. Okay, well, I'll roll into these comments here. There's a kind of a serious one, Craig. It's this person here. Hey, Craig, did you ever get sad thinking about the old days, all the Skynyrd buddies that have passed away, and you ever, I guess, sit around and think about that stuff?
I don't get sad. It's, I get sad about the way things turned out, God.
Yeah.
But looking back and, I was such good friends with all those guys and everything. And now, it's funny. I'm not friends with any of those. Well, Johnny, I guess when I see him, and Ricky, well, then the other guys, I guess I am with, I don't know, maybe it's speaking out of turn, but, management hates me. Oh my God. They don't want any of the, just seems like they don't want any of the survivors of the plane crash around at all, or anybody from the past. Although Johnny said Paul come to the show the other day, and it was nice to see him. But
Paul Abraham.
Yeah. But I tried to work a show. for Skynyrd, and the management saw me and tried to get me thrown out of the place. They wouldn't do it, But
I think that all goes back to that peeing on everybody, Craig.
No, I don't know. It's just funny that I'm really good friends with Marshall Tucker people and Journey and Foreigner.
Well, they were trying to use your movies there, they were trying to use your movies and weren't paying you for it. Remember that? And you had
God,
and you had to tell them about it. So that was the last thing that probably pissed them off. But hell, those are your movies. You're not getting paid for it, and you had a contract with them. I mean, what the hell?
There's people who've treated me really shitty, but I don't feel bad because they treat everybody really shitty. They've pulled some shitty moves on a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, and then this one person says, "Can we still have different political views and find a way to be civil to each other?" Well, if you're a liberal, no.
Yeah, it's gone way too far, man. This country's out of control. There's mental illness is a serious problem, man. I mean, God Almighty, there's so many people running in the streets that are mentally ill. Gee, man.
I mean, 30 years ago, a Democrat, and a Republican could have a conversation, but since the Obama days, man, that's when I started like waking the hell up, and then these people don't see they're being brainwashed. And, I mean, come on. I remember them having trials about, trying to find these communists in Hollywood and stuff. And it was like, wow, I thought to myself when I was a kid, I was scared to death of a communist. And now they've overtaken our damn country. They've actually taken over.
Well, if you don't know that the CIA didn't kill Jack, man, you're tripping, and they're still hiding files from 9/11. I mean, why do they hide files from the American public? Because they say we're too stupid to know the truth. Well, I kind of got to agree with them on a lot of those points, but they say you're too stupid to know the truth, and if you don't stand up and say, no, I'm not too stupid to know the truth, then you are stupid. I mean, and people just, whatever we elect all those people to run this country, and they act like they're our rulers. I mean, those people work for us. I mean, you got to stand up and say, there's one word everybody's got to start learning, the word no. We're not going to let this happen. But there's so many people that are just brainwashed and confused.
Well, they're getting those.
They've just about got us outnumbered, man, to where, you try to make sense, and you're either a racist or you're a bigot or they've got a name for you,
Yeah, I mean, if you can't see what they're doing, Lord help you. I don't know. You probably are gullible to anything if you're gullible to what CNN puts out there, and you're watching that and walking around with a mask on a sidewalk and driving around in a car with a mask on. And, the poor people, I feel sorry for some of them, because they scared them to death, but some of them are just plain stupid. But rolling out of the political topic back into the skin formation, somebody says here, I bet Sweet Connie didn't want to hide on the milk and cookie bus.
Dale wouldn't let Sweet Connie anywhere near the whole venue. If she found out.
Oh, really?
Connie, oh, yeah.
You know what it is? Leon's a liberal and Wicker's a Republican. So she didn't want
no, she didn't want Sweet Connie anywhere near them. She came to the gig and I had to hide her. That's what I said in the last show. I had to hide her. I was pretty good friends with Sweet Connie, She was all right. She was cool. But yeah, Dale didn't want her nowhere near the place.
Well, she made the rounds, that's for sure. But,
yeah, her and Bill Clinton got together.
Yeah, well, I think he got together with a lot of people on that island. So, okay, another one here. Craig, on One in the Sun, who played the middle solo? Was it Gary?
One in the Sun is Steve's song.
I thought the whole thing was Steve.
Yeah, I
had to go back and listen
tried
to it
throw
now.
me a trick question. That's not a Skynyrd song.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's something. Somebody send in some remarks on that.
I got brain damage, but it ain't
he didn't play One in the Sun with Skynyrd?
No. What?
He didn't play One in the Sun while with Skynyrd? No? Okay. I did not know that either. So I'm going to go back and listen to it. Yeah. I'm going to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, that was one of Steve's songs.
I remember I said something about people are so stupid that they would go, if they found out that there was a dog shit McMuffin down at McDonald's, that they would probably go stand in line for it. And this guy goes, you say, he said he went down to buy a dog shit McMuffin, but it doesn't come out until day after the election. I'm glad somebody's got a sense of humor. Let's see. All right, let's go to another one. This guy here says it would be cool to sit around with Craig and Griff and sit around and have some beers and smoke some bowls.
Yeah.
Craig will do that now. I've seen him at the monument there. He had several people get in his rental car there with him, and they, it's almost like, I guess, smoking peace and pipe or something, with the Indians, or maybe sitting down and having a toke with Cheech and Chong or something. That's how famous Craig is as far as that goes. So, And then a guy asked here, does Craig have PayPal or anything other than sending checks in the mail?
I do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I got PayPal, yeah.
So if somebody wanted to send a donation, you're going to let them send it to PayPal? I don't
Yeah, they
think
can
so.
do that, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well, we'll have to figure that out. And see, we'll put it up on the board or something. Maybe make it easier, somebody will send in donations.
Yeah, it's Craig J. Reed at hotmail.com is my PayPal. That's how you pay through PayPal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it right there.
Craig J. Reed at hotmail.com.
Yeah, I remember when the Hotmail came out.
That's my PayPal.
That's like Steve Lawler. He still has an AOL email. Some people still have AOL emails. Yeah. And next to the last question here, says, Craig, the guys in Skynyrd love to fight, but did anyone ever beat up Ronnie?
No. Nobody ever messed with Ronnie. God, you gonna mess with the guy that signs your paycheck? I don't think so.
Well, not only that, he's kind of mean too, from what I understand.
Well, yeah, he bites your ear off.
Yeah, I mean, I saw where he took a hunk out of Joe Barnes. I mean, it looked like
even if you win, you're gonna lose something. So,
yeah,
that's a no-win situation there.
Let me see here. Oh yeah, Kent Griffith. If you guys want to hear Kent Griffith's story about what he told, Artimus told Kent about why he left the band, go to the comments on our last podcast, which is 150, and look at the Kent Griffith comment. It's a pretty long comment, and he tells the whole story as to what happened with why Artimus left the band. Then another one here. Craig, who in the band, this is the last one, who in the band got the best looking women? You told me it was you.
Well, I'm not in the band though.
You told me, you said, all the guys in the band, they didn't get near as good looking women as I did.
Well, I'm prejudiced in that way. Oh, I don't know. I guess Ronnie did. I don't know.
And then you told me, you said that some nice looking ladies would come up to you and they'd say, "Hey, we want to go meet Ronnie." And you'd go, "Well, how bad do you want to meet him?"
Well, that happened. That happened a couple of times. Yeah. I never told Ronnie.
Oh my God. He might have had to beat you up, Craig.
They had to work their way up the totem pole to get to you. No, I never shared that with him. I don't think they ever did either.
Well, I mean, if they did, I think he might have been a little pissed off.
Oh, but I made them brush their teeth before they went to see him.
Well, another thing that's good about that too, because didn't Ronnie end up in a motel room with a lady boy one time?
Yeah.
So maybe he needed you to vet them all.
Yeah, I needed to check them out.
Maybe after that he didn't.
That'd be my excuse. Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie, I had to make sure she didn't have a penis. Well, that's all the questions. You got anything else, Craig? We can go ahead and wrap this up unless you got something else going on, and we'll roll into the Mike O'Hara tapes, and I'll put somebody on there.
A couple more days off.
Well, the next.
No, I got it. Yeah, we're gonna. I should have your number. I should have all the numbers for everybody here in a week, and then we'll try to get everybody's number, and then we'll let everybody know. If you ain't got your number, write to me and and say, hey, I don't think I'm in the contest, and we'll try to get you in there. We're gonna try to make sure everybody that's supposed to be in there is in there. But I think we got like 113 so far.
Well,
So,
that's
yeah.
it. I mean, if you get another one, that you can't take it, right? Because the deadline's up. So,
Well, yeah, theoretically,
it's up to Craig what he wants to do. It's his
Whatever.
contest. So,
Yeah, whatever. We'll take a sob story,
yeah. Yeah, if you want to
No,
get
we
in,
can, I might not have got them in the mail, or I could have lost one. I'm not perfect.
or you could say this, Craig. How bad do you want to win the contest?
No, I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes. God.
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
But
it's all in good fun. So,
I must call myself stupid about at least 5 times a day. God, how stupid are you?
we need as many people that are listening that hasn't liked and subscribed. Please go on and subscribe, because that's what pays the crash survivors, and it gets our monetary value up. So please take the time and subscribe. And with that, I think we can just go ahead and check out of here, Craig.
All righty then. Yeah, it's been nice, and I guess we'll see you Friday on the next edition of the Wake and Bake Morning Buzz, and
Steve Lawler.
With Steve Lawler, and see you later, alligator, at the Wild Crocodile. Cut.
It's a wrap.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Hemphill?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Michael O'Hara. I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Calling what?
From Toronto, Canada? I'm a university student at York University in Toronto. I'm doing a thesis on my final paper of the Lynyrd Skynyrd band.
Uh-huh.
And I've talked to a few of the people who helped rescued the survivors and whatnot, and they've all mentioned your name. And I thought maybe I should give you a call and kind of get your side of the story for my thesis.
Oh, okay.
If you don't mind talking about it.
Oh, no. I'd be glad to.
Oh, great.
I don't remember dates very well.
Okay.
But my wife and I were living with my father-in-law and mother-in-law out at Gillsburg at that time, while we were saving a little money to build a house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was outside that afternoon working on actually an old pickup truck, trying to get it ready for hunting season. And the plane came over the house where we were living, and it was rather low and spitting and sputtering. And so I called the Fernwood Airport. It was right around supper time, and I called the Fernwood Airport and asked them, if they had a plane in trouble. And they said they did, but it was coming on into the airport. So we went ahead and ate supper, and I don't know why, but after we ate, I called back to the airport and just to check on them, and they said that the plane had crashed, and I don't even remember how many, but they said there was, like 20 people on board or whatever. So I called a friend of mine who was the volunteer fire department chief at that time at Gillsburg. It's a little bitty community, so it's not like you got a city fire department.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to him, Dennis Wilson.
Yes, he was the gentleman that spoke mostly about you before I've talked to.
And so I told Dennis that a plane had crashed between Gillsburg and Fernwood, and that we might ought to get some blankets and stuff and see if we could help locate the plane, because they weren't sure where it had gone down. And so we got in vehicles and started headed. I guess that would be east toward the Magnolia area, which would be kind of in the flight path. And when we got over close enough to where the plane had crashed, it was getting dark, and a helicopter that I guess had come out of Baton Rouge or somewhere had already spotted the plane and was just hovering over the area where the plane was, with a big spotlight shining down on it. And my wife's uncle and I got out and we parked in a field, and we had to go through some woods to get to the plane. And when we got there, there was a guy up on top of the plane in his hunting stuff. It was bow season for deer at the time, and he had all his camouflage and stuff on. I believe that was Jamie Wall, if I'm not badly mistaken. At any rate, he handed one of the injured passengers down to me. It was a girl, maybe Cassie Gaines, I think, and her face was all cut up. And I looked down, and the plane came to rest up against some trees. And when I looked down, Ronnie Van Zant was basically at my feet with about the top half of his body, exposed in a T-shirt. And I didn't know who it was at the time. I just knew it was a guy with, platinum blonde, long hair. And I just kind of froze because, he was dead. And
I don't mean to sound morbid, but Ronnie Van Zant was like my hero and whatnot. And how did he look? Did he look dead, like you could tell by, or just by the injuries, or just by?
No, I didn't see a mark on him.
Okay.
To be honest with you, he was just laying there, kind of face up, with just from his waist up, visible. I guess it ejected him from the plane, and either the plane was on top of him, or he was just kind of up under the edge of it. You know how the plane's kind of concave on the side, and he might have just been up and under it. But I just kind of froze a minute, and the guy hollered at me from up on top and said, "He's dead. You can't help him. Help me get these other people out." And by this time, several more folks, had gotten there. And I remember there was one guy that had both his legs broken, and we were trying to pull him out of the top of the plane, because when the plane crashed, it split down the top. And some people were down inside, handing them out to us, and we were on top of the plane picking them up and then handing them down to some more folks. And I can't remember who he was, but both of his legs were broken. I remember he was pretty heavy though. And we were just taking people and propping them up against trees and stuff. And finally the emergency vehicle started getting there. And I remember Dwayne Dillon was the sheriff of Pike County at that time, and even though this was in Amite County, he was over there, and he and several more guys helped us as we took a lot of the injured and some of the dead on stretchers out to pickup trucks, because they didn't have enough ambulances. We were loading them in pickup trucks and taking them to Macomb to the hospital. And still we didn't have any idea who it was.
You didn't know it was Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I do remember that the pilot, I guess it was the pilot and co-pilot were killed. One of them had, seemed like it had a rod or something stuck in the side of his head when he crashed up against a tree, and they actually had to pull one of the trees down with a big tractor in order to be able to extricate him from the fuselage of the plane. And then they, started going through all the stuff. And the thing that I'll always remember is the smell of that place. I guess they ran out of fuel.
Yes.
But it still just had a smell that I'll never forget. I don't know if you call it the smell of death, but it was a lot. It was like a jet fuel type smell, but it's just kind of like death in there or something. And but remarkably, none of the people that were alive when we got on the scene died.
No.
Which is really a miracle, I guess.
Yes, considering how some of them were so seriously injured.
Oh yeah, and the plane was just pretty well demolished. But I don't think the pilot or co-pilot survived, did they?
No, they died. I imagine all six died upon impact.
Yeah, I remember that it eclipsed, a lot of trees as it was coming in, and cut them off at various lengths until it finally nosed down into a clump of trees and came to rest up against a couple of them. And of course, they had to pull one of them down to even be able to get one of the guys out. And I remember before I left, there was a news crew there, and they were interviewing folks, and we were all we were all tired. So you know, we were going back out to the cars. And when we left, there was cars everywhere as far as you could see. And we got back to Gillsburg and flipped on the TV. I don't even remember what time it was, but a news flash came over that it was the Lynyrd Skynyrd band that had crashed.
And that's when you found out?
That's when we found out.
Had you heard of them before?
Oh, yeah.
Did you enjoy their music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So this kind of really hit home.
A real shock. It
Yeah.
really was. It really was. And, of course, they sealed off the area for several days while the National, whatever it is, Aeronautics Board or whatever, did their investigation and all. And a couple of our friends were involved, and they had a Mike Wilson. I don't know if Dennis gave you his name.
No, he did not. I've got, other than yourself, 4 names. Gerald Wall.
Yeah.
Dennis Wilson, of course. Johnny Moat. And there's one.
I think one of the guys had crawled just about to Johnny's house.
Actually, 3 of them. Apparently, according to Johnny, he almost shot them. One of them happened to be the drummer of the band.
Artimus Powell?
Yes.
Artimus, I was working at a bank here in Macomb at the time, and somebody wired some funds into him, and I took a check out to the hospital to him while he was out here recovering. I don't even remember what he looked like, to be honest with you, but he was the only one really that I guess I met.
So you actually met Mr. Powell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody had wired him some funds, so he took a check out there to him.
At the hospital he was in, or? Okay.
At the hospital here in Macomb.
Okay. And
it was a real shock to us. But Mike Wilson, I think he stood guard. Matter of fact, I think it was his tractor that they used to pull the, pull the tree down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he and maybe Jerry Wall and some others stood guard over the place for several days, while, to protect the site from looters. Because there was all kinds of rumors about dope and money and all that sort of stuff on board.
Did, to your knowledge, any of that did those rumors become facts, or to your knowledge?
Never heard any more about it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. There was a picture in the paper that day of us looking into the cockpit.
Actually, October 21st, the edition?
I think so.
Yes, I have that in front of me, and it
had Sheriff Travis in it?
It's Sheriff Todd Lawson.
Oh, Todd Lawson, yeah. Travis was over in Amen County. Lawson, I don't think he was sheriff of Amen.
Well, it may have been a mistake, and
he might have been, but I was in that picture, somewhere in that picture.
Really?
It doesn't have my name or anything.
No.
They could look it up in that fuselage. But it was a real shocker, to know that I had seen them come over, and that it wasn't very long after that a lot of them died. It just, it's kind of hard to swallow there for a while.
Okay. I actually now have the...
All we knew that was a bunch of long-haired, hippie-looking guys in that plane,
Right. You had no idea it was a rock band or someone going to see a football game?
I never went down into the plane itself.
Right.
So I didn't... Nobody mentioned guitars or any equipment or anything like that. So I had no idea that.
Okay, I have the paper right now in front of me. It says here, Todd Lawson is the gentleman with the light.
Yeah. I don't know if Todd was sheriff back then. I thought Dwayne Dillon was, but...
There's also a gentleman that looks right behind him that seems to have a official looking like a belt that has a gun on it, and I assume you're the gentleman on the left?
Probably so.
Okay.
Young guy?
Wearing a baseball cap, it looks like?
Probably so.
Okay.
I'll have to tell you one thing. It's kind of funny. It doesn't have anything really impact on the story, but my wife's uncle, you remember me telling you about us getting out of the car and cutting through the woods?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was still light enough in the field that you could see. But as you were going into the woods, you know how it gets darker in the woods earlier than it does out in the wide open.
Yep.
And it was just dark enough in there that you really needed a flashlight. And I didn't have one. And and he's always barefooted. Her uncle is. Matter of fact, they nicknamed him Barefoot because he always goes around barefooted. And he said, "Here, Stuart, you're faster than I am, and younger. You take the flashlight, and I'll follow you." So I took off running, and of course I was faster than he was. About every 5 or 6 steps, I could hear him whop hit the ground, hit trip on the front and his tail. And I pictured him about that a long time. But it was a night we'll never forget. I assure you that.
I can imagine. I mean, especially you're just about the only person I've talked to. The other was Mr. Dwayne Easley, out of the 4,
Connie.
and who had known the band, or at least heard of the band beforehand.
Oh, really?
Pretty much, yeah. Gerald Wall, he didn't, know anything about it. Mr. Wilson, Dennis Wilson, mostly listened to country music.
Yeah.
And I don't believe Dwayne Easley, what he did, but apparently some kid, he found out actually at the crash site, some kid told him, but this kid was notorious for lying. And he didn't really believe him. Like, go on, kid, I don't have time for this, right?
Yeah.
So I guess Mr. Easley kind of knew of the band beforehand, but nobody really that I've talked to has listened to the band and enjoyed the band as you have said you had before the plane crash.
They started playing Sweet Home Alabama on that news flash.
Right.
I said, you have got to be kidding. 'Cause we were all tired. We said, let's get out of here. But if I'd have known it was them, I'd have stayed, I'd have stayed till the end. I guess just to be there. But I think the response crews and everything did a real good job getting them in and taking care of them at the hospital.
From everybody I've talked to, yes, it's a miracle that not one of them died.
It really is.
It really is a miracle.
How many actually died?
6.
6.
20 survived.
Now, the Gaines boy died, didn't he?
Yes, Steve Gaines and Cassie Gaines, the brother and sister, they died. And Ronnie Van Zant.
Cassie that they handed to me, that was some other girl then, because she lived. She had blood all over her face.
That would have been Leslie Hawkins.
Okay.
Black hair or blonde hair?
Gosh, I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't. I just remember she was covered with blood.
Her face was cut up, you say?
I don't know if it was cut up or she had a cut on her head, but she had blood all over her face. And we just, took her and set her down by a tree.
Yes.
It's really all, all we could do for them at the time.
Well, apparently she suffered severe facial injuries.
I'm losing you on the phone here. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just not picking you up very good.
Calling quite a ways away.
Maybe my phone. I'm on a remote phone.
Oh.
No, that's better now. But anything else I can help you with on that?
Well, I guess like Mr. Wilson, Dennis Wilson, told me that he personally took 3 of the dead to Macomb Hospital, and they put him in a maintenance building behind the hospital.
Yeah.
He can only say that one of them was Cassie Gaines, and he didn't really even know that. But she was the only female that died, so that goes without saying that it was Cassie. I was just wondering if you might happen to know who the other 2 were, or...
No.
No.
I don't have any idea.
No. But you did recognize Ronnie Van Zant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He was, I mean, nobody had the platinum hair like he did.
Okay.
He had on a white T-shirt.
A white T-shirt?
White T-shirt. And I didn't see a mark on him.
Okay. I guess when someone brings this up to you, like I am now, or you think about it, or something, you hear it on the radio, one of their songs, what's the first thing that comes in your mind?
Oh, when I hear one of their songs?
Or when you hear one of the songs, or someone talks to you about the crash, or...
Oh, it all just comes right back.
Everything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just something you never forget. I mean, I can be driving down the road if I hear the song, and I heard they were getting back together.
They are back together, yes.
They are back together.
Yes, have been for quite a while.
As a matter of fact, I think they were, if they didn't, they were coming to this area and do some kind of concert at one time, and I think it had to be canceled. But they were going to come back and do something, you know, kind of in honor of the community.
Right.
But is Artimus playing again?
He was up till August 2nd, 1991, and he quit the band.
Didn't it break his hands or fingers or something?
The plane crash?
Yeah.
I really don't know, actually, the extent of Artemis's injuries. I imagine his chest was, you know, as everybody's chest was, you know, bruised or, you know, so severely. But as for his hands, I can't really say.
Somebody told me he had problems with his hands that, you know, would prevent him from playing in the future or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was really something else. That, you know, if I could ever give you any more information, I told you really about all I know.
Do you remember the color of the airplane itself?
The what?
The color of it?
No, I really don't.
You don't remember? Okay.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe a light color, but I don't remember if it was silver or white or whatever.
Right. Of course, it was dark.
Yeah, but they had a big searchlight on top of you know, sitting right on top of it, and that helicopter, you know, was humming overhead. But I don't really remember the color.
Okay.
Amazing how you can remember some things vividly and some things
just
fade away.
kind of blank out, yeah. Of course, you wouldn't, I mean, that would not be the first thing entering my mind either, would be the color of the airplane. I'm just, just trying to see, you know, what the color of the airplane was and whatnot. Approximately, how many, I guess, feet or yards from the very first tree they hit to the final resting place was it?
Gosh, I don't know. It could have been 100, 200 yards.
Really?
It'd be hard to say, really. And they were fairly close to a field. I mean, if they could have made it, you know, maybe another 100 or 200 yards, they could have, you know, crash landed in a field.
That would have been Johnny Mote's field?
I think it would have been John Smith's field.
John Smith's field,
Yeah,
okay.
John's dead now, and I think they got pine trees planted in that field.
Okay. Johnny Mote said it was his, but when I talked to Johnny Mote, he wasn't real solemn about the whole thing. You know, he was kind of like, it wasn't a joke, but it was like, you know, he kind of have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
He wasn't, you know, like as solemn as you are, or Mr. Wilson, and all that. It was just, you know, he saw these three guys who thought they were convicts, and he almost actually shot them.
Yeah, he did.
And he made, you know, he thought that was real funny, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, it wasn't real funny to them. Like, you know, imagine, you know, walking away from a plane crash to get help and you getting shot at.
Yeah.
But
he was real young. He was probably 20 years old, you know, himself.
Okay.
You know, but I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that might be significant. And, I just can't. Yeah, you might want to talk to Mike Wilson, you know, the guy that stood guard there for a while.
Okay.
And if you'll hold on just a second, I'll look and see if I can give you his number.
Terrific, thanks.
Of course, it'll be area code.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Hubert Mike Wilson, but he goes by Mike. Let's see if I can find his phone number here. He's kind of country.
Okay.
Don't tell him I said so.
No, I won't say where, no.
You'll know right quick. Let's see here. Hubert Wilson, Mike Martin. They spell it with two L's. Here it is. His wife's name is Martha.
And his name is Mike Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay.
you writing a thesis?
Yes, I am, and there are a few people I know who are writing books that also about the band in general.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of it is also going to be, you know, about the plane crash and whatnot and what happened. And I've been told by these two people that if I get in touch with anybody with any pertinent information about the crash, to if it's possible to either give them their, the phone number, like your phone number, or I give you their phone number.
Well, whatever. That'd be fine. I don't.
You don't mind?
Anybody what I know, yeah.
Okay. Because you're the only person who has at least admitted to seeing Ronnie Van Zant. Everyone else, either, they might have seen him, but they don't know.
Yeah. I'll never forget that.
I guess not, especially if, hearing of the band beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay, I can give you the phone numbers.
You just give them my phone number.
I can just give me your phone number, that's fine. Okay, great.
Yeah, because I may try to call them and miss them or whatever.
Okay, yeah, understandable. I just didn't want to give, someone's phone number without their knowing it.
I understand.
And these are two very important people. They're not just, somebody out to make a buck.
Yeah, I understand.
They're two very important people who are writing books on the band itself and the crash.
I'd like to get a copy of it when they get through with it.
I'd like to too.
Yeah.
Now, how long were you actually at the crash site?
I really don't know. I'd say probably 2 or 3 hours.
2 or 3 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in the fall, and it happened right around dark. And I would say we probably got back home around 9 o'clock. So yeah, probably 2 or 3 hours.
Okay, and did one of the newspaper, like NBC, Bob Kerr was there, I know. Dennis Wilson told me that. Did he interview you at all? No, okay.
I didn't talk with them. The only people that I've ever talked to really was the national, area?
NTSB?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, they interviewed me.
Okay. And it was sputtering over, as you heard it?
It just kind of spitting and sputtering and cutting out. And they were flying. They were flying pretty low.
Okay. And did you see it? You saw it, obviously.
Yeah. The plane came, I guess, from the flight path from which they were coming from Baton Rouge to Fernwood. Evidently came right over my father-in-law's house.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know if the props were turning at that point, or you don't recall?
In fact, I couldn't even tell you if it had props.
Okay.
I don't remember if it was a prop plane or...
It was a turboprop, yes.
But I know it was spitting and sputtering, and it just didn't sound right.
Didn't sound right at all?
Yeah.
But it was, the engines were still going, but but they were not working, functioning properly. Okay.
It was just spitting and sputtering and cutting out, and I don't know how far it is from where the house was, where I was, to the actual crash site. It couldn't have been probably more than a couple of 3 miles through the air.
And have you been back to the crash site since, or?
No, I hadn't.
No?
We went back, a couple of days later.
Mm-hmm.
And just looked around and everything, but, as far as since then, no.
And have you heard of any, like, looting and whatnot? Like, I imagine there had to be hundreds of things from personal effects and whatnot. Is there any looting that you know of, or that you could see?
No.
No?
At that time...
You just wanted to get everybody out? And
yeah, we had no idea that, at least I didn't, that they were anybody, but a bunch of long-haired hippie-looking guys. And, I guess maybe when the TV stations got there and started talking to folks, maybe they knew, but even then, as I was leaving, I didn't have any idea who they were. But the TV folks got there pretty quick.
Okay.
Like I said, they were there with a remote on the spot, and I'm thinking it was maybe one of the Baton Rouge stations. Might have been New Orleans, but they were up there in a hurry.
Yes, they were headed towards Baton Rouge from Greenville, South Carolina, to do a show on the 21st.
I see.
That's probably why Baton Rouge was so interested.
Went from Greenville to Baton Rouge.
Yes.
All right. Well, evidently they got past Gillsburg and turned around to come back.
They were out of fuel.
I see.
The NTSB report states that there was 1 quart, less than 1 quart of fuel aboard the plane.
My goodness. Well, that explains why it didn't explode.
Yeah, very much so, yes. Did you think about that as you were, helping, or
No.
that did not enter your mind, you just want to help?
Never crossed my mind. I guess your adrenaline gets flowing and you don't even think about it.
You don't, yes, personal danger or anything like that, right? Okay. Well, I can't thank you enough. You've helped me so much. And it is okay to give these 2 gentlemen your phone number?
Sure. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Terrific.
Be glad to talk to them.
I'm sure they'd be awful glad to talk to you because you have so much insight on the crash. Like, as I say, you're the only one who admits about seeing Ronnie Van Zant. And, you've gone into great detail about the what it was like and whatnot.
It was something else.
Do you have any flashbacks or anything of that nature? No?
No.
Just every now and then when you hear a song, you just...
I'll never forget the smell of that place. That's something you just never forget.
Okay. Terrific. I can't thank you much, sir. It's been a pleasure.
And what was your name again?
Michael O'Hara.
Michael.
Yes.
Are you a native of Canadian? Canada?
I was born in St. Augustine, but I was brought up in Toronto when I was very young, and kind of stuck here.
Well, you still got a little bit of the southern.
A little bit. So yeah, I get kidded now and then about it.
I bet you do. You speak French?
No, no.
French in Toronto?
No. There's the Ontario people do not speak French.
Mostly over in Quebec.
Yeah, we have this kind of Civil War without the bullets.
What school are you going to?
York University.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
It's like Toronto University, only an extension of it.
I see. Well, what are you majoring in?
Journalism.
Journalism.
Yes.
Good. Are you working on your master's or your doctorate?
Master's.
Good. Going for the doctorate, huh?
Uh-huh.
Are you?
I'm going to try.
Man.
See how it goes and what the tuition's like. And, it's starting to eat me up money-wise, but...
Yeah, it does get expensive.
It does, but hopefully it'll be worth it in the long run.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go for it.
I mean, I've got talked to interesting people like you, and I mean, I would have done this without a thesis, if I had known I could do this. But once I got into the thesis about the band, and obviously you have to end it with the crash.
Yeah.
It just all starts, I read the paper, the Enterprise Journal, got some names, and boom, boom, all of a sudden it's just, everyone will talk about it.
Yeah.
I find that amazing. I thought, well, some people might want to blank it out. I was very hesitant to call quite a few people, whether they talk about it or not. And if they blanked it out, they don't want to talk about it, they hang up on me or whatever. But everyone has been, ever so helpful.
People around here are pretty, they're pretty cooperative.
Well, obviously that was
Southern nature.
That was that had been proven on October 20th, 1977. Everyone seems to be very cooperative.
Among ourselves, but if somebody's in trouble, we help each other out.
Okay.
All right.
I thank you so much, sir.
You take care and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right.
See you later.
Bye-bye.